Welcome back to another episode of the Strong New York podcast. I'm your host, Kenny Santucci, and as always, we are powered by Celsius. We're going to crack a couple of these open, but I'm excited about 2026. There's a lot going on, and I have a very special guest here. I've been trying to get this guy on for a while. He's in high demand, former NFL football player, and now the founder, creator, and owner of Dream Recovery.
Thanks for having me, bro.
Thank you so much for coming here, bro.
I don't know about high demand. Depends who you ask.
I don't know. I feel like every time I see either Jesse or Devin's story, you're right there with them.
Yeah.
And you guys are doing some
stupid endurance thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get dragged into a lot of things I'm not good at.
How'd you get in? How'd you work yourself into that fold?
So I met Jesse. Where did I meet? Oh, so my wife is writing a book. My wife's a two-time Olympian in swimming.
Yep.
She was writing a book. I had heard Jesse speak a while back, and I was like, you should reach out to him, and see if he could help you with like marketing stuff. She was like, I don't know how to get this out there, and I'm like, hit him up. And so this was like maybe 6 years ago. He was in Connecticut, and he was like, come over.
Yeah. He's got a house in Connecticut and a house in Georgia, right?
Yes, Connecticut has like the ultimate summer house.
Yeah.
And so I went with her, and at this time, so I've been into like sauna, cold plunge stuff I've been doing it, 5 times a week for over 10 years.
Well, how old are you?
I'm 37.
So around that, like when you were playing high school football, college football, was that the protocol? Were you guys doing cold plunge sauna stuff?
No, so when I was at the Rams, like they had cold plunge hot tub next to each other. They had a sauna, but guys didn't really like use it. They didn't know what to. A lot of guys would do hot tub before practice, which looking back was like good, but there was no education. Like we had it, no one ever talked about it.
Yeah. I wonder where that came from, because I remember being in high school. I'm a little older than you, and after practices, they'd be like, "All right, jump in the cold plunge." Yeah. Nobody knew why, but they were like, "Just jump in the cold plunge." And it's like we jump in, stay for like,
and we feel great though.
Yeah, but it was always like a test of whose dick's bigger. It's like, all right, stay in as long as you can and jump out.
Smaller by the end of it. But yeah, like in college we did that too, but no one knew what they were doing, and I think it was just a way to like make our legs feel better.
Yeah.
But I got pretty into it, because all those studies, like those sauna studies came out about 10 years ago, the big long-term 40-year ones. And so I was super into it. And so we went to his house. He was like, yo, I have sauna cold plunge. And this is before it was popular. So I was like, I love sauna cold plunge. Yeah. And that we pretty much became best friends at that point because no one else was into it. And so we ended up staying the whole weekend. We were supposed to be there for an hour and then just kind of evolved since.
I went to that, we were both at that event that he did in Midtown last month? Was it December?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, like I've always been a fan of his. After that talk, so impressed. I thought that show was so well put on. I mean, obviously the coolest part was when Vanilla Ice showed up. But I thought he was a great. I think he's a great speaker.
Dude, I feel like he's the most underrated speaker. People don't. He doesn't get enough credit for that, but he's also like the most genuine dude. Like that's him. Like the guy on stage is like he's like that. He lives every word he says.
Yeah.
What's cool though is I've went with him to a couple of corporate speeches, and that Vanilla Ice piece is always in there. Mm-hmm. So like he always talks about the story with Vanilla Ice. Like he didn't add that in for that speech. Yeah. Like that's always part of the speech, and then he actually got him to come, which is sick.
Well, I didn't know where he was going when he was like, all right, you got this and this, and he kept talking like about the passion, and at the end how he tied it all together, it was so well done. Like you could ask anybody in the room. I go to everything. I go to every fitness event. I go to motivational stuff. I go to, business conferences, and I try to listen to and see who's a really great speaker. And I think really good speakers are very hard to find, and Jesse's definitely one of those people.
I think what's cool about him, and I like this about all speakers, and anybody speaking on anything, it's like he also did it. Like, a lot of speakers are professional speakers. And that's how they've grown their business. And they'll be speaking on business and betterment and all this stuff, but like they're making their money from people watching them speak. Where Jesse has done stuff. Yeah. And then he's telling people how to live their life based on this resume he's already done, which I think is a lot different. Yeah. Like, and sometimes when I hear these guys who are, I'm not knocking them, they're amazing speakers, but the people watching are part of that sales funnel that he's talking about. Right, so like I like it when people have accomplished things outside of just speaking.
So a lot of the endurance stuff, like when you're going with these guys and they're like, all right, we're gonna take a bike across the country, you're not like, how, I mean, you're a big dude. I mean, it's hard
dude,
for.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, most guys, you know, like most guys who are doing
Yeah.
a lot of this long distance
Yeah.
endurance stuff. Like, there's that one kid who who ran across Texas.
Matt
Yeah.
Johnson. Yeah.
That kid weighs what, 100 pounds
Yeah, he's
soaking
built
wet.
for it perfect.
Yeah. He's built to long distance run, and like people don't understand. The bigger you are, the more mass you hold. Our hands are only a certain size. If you're trying to like dead hang or do a lot of this long distance or endurance stuff or anything that takes a long time, being bigger doesn't help.
We did rim to rim to rim, 45 miles, 12,000 feet of elevation, gain and loss. It was horrible.
Are you like falling behind with it?
Well, you know, the good thing is Jesse isn't like an amazing
No, yeah,
athlete.
you can tell he's not an
He
athlete.
doesn't stop,
Yeah.
right? Like he can go, but
Yeah.
he's not a great performer. Like he's not going to be the fastest guy, and he's older than me.
But
so
he'll get it done.
he'll get it done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and that's kind of like that's like my thought going into it. And so we're closer than you think, but like I dread it. But the thing is like the experience with those guys outweighs the pain I'm going to be in.
Oh,
And that's
sure.
what it comes down to. It's like I don't want to miss out because it's rare to find a group of guys like that later in life that you're so close with to do fun. Like not many people are willing to do that stuff. And so, yeah, it's going to suck, but like that's worth it to go through with them.
Now, how'd you make that transition from like football, you know, kind of doing the nose tape?
Dude, I had a tough, oh, you mean afterwards? Yeah, I mean, after football was hard in general. Like I gained a bunch of weight and like just, it became hard to even like care about working out because you go from this, football I feel like is probably the most connected with fitness and like the better you get in the gym, the better you are on the field usually.
Yeah.
So then I went to just feeling like, okay, I just want to be in shape. So it was hard. But I thought I wanted to be a college strength conditioning coach. Like that's what I was into. Got my CSCS, you know, all these certs. And then I got to spend time, did an internship with Dr. Jennifer Martin. And I was like, if I really want to help people, athletes, whoever, professionals, like perform at a high level, whatever that is, how is sleep not the first thing we're talking about? And that was 10 years ago. So like the science was still spotty. But as it started to evolve, I was like, everyone needs to be starting with sleep, and then, you know, build upon that. You know, build your fitness on the sleep, and then from that, you know, I just focused on sleeping, educating, and then from that, like Dream Recovery was born because I get asked about products all the time, and so it was an easy kind of evolution.
Well, you know, anytime I listen to anybody, I'm always like, all right, if they're not talking about this sleep being the base of the pyramid, because you could kind of cheat and not work out every day.
Yeah.
You could get away with not having the best diet, especially if you have good genetics.
For sure.
But you can't really cheat sleep.
No, and it's the only thing that's really universal, person to person.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of different diets that work, a lot of different workouts that work.
For sure.
There's all sorts of variations, and everything works to an extent. Sleep is really the one thing that, you know, the margins for each person are relatively tight. Everybody has this need. But I think that shows physiologically how important it is. If everybody needs it, everybody needs about the same amount, clearly it's something our body is craving.
So what would you say is the most important protocol? Because I feel like I'm one of these people who has trouble sleeping, right? Like even since I was a kid, like I was younger, I like to stay up and I would sometimes sleep in, but now as soon as you start to own a business and have a job and stuff, now I'm really cutting down on the amount of sleep I'm actually getting.
Yeah.
And then when I do sleep long, I'm like in and out of sleep. Like what's the best way to sleep?
Like the number one sleep tip that outweighs everything else is consistency. And it's boring and it's not sexy and nobody likes to hear it. But if you have the same bedtime and wake up time 7 days a week, like that's by far, that outweighs anything else you can do. But I think the other side of that, and it's not really a protocol, is just the mindset surrounding sleep. I think like what's happened, and I hear this all the time now, like, you know, you're like, oh, you know, you tell everyone you need to start with sleep, right? But you're having a hard time sleeping. And I think what happens is, yes, there's been this burst of knowledge and people learning about sleep, understanding the importance of sleep, but at the same time, I think it's created sometimes a stressful relationship with sleep where you start thinking about the negative repercussions of sleep. And so the second tip I'd say is just give yourself grace, right? Like you're gonna have bad nights of sleep. You're gonna be stressed about stuff, but the reason you're stressed about stuff is because you care about it. Like that's kind of a gift in a way. So I think reframing some of those stresses in your life and being like, look, I'm going through an era of my life. I'm working hard. I'm building, you know, you're building all this stuff. It's like amazing to watch from a distance. That's a gift. And you're not, there's going to be, it's worth having a few bad nights of sleep, and don't beat yourself up.
Yeah, you're going to sacrifice some stuff.
Yeah.
For sure.
And if it's worth it, then do it. Yeah. And if it's not, don't.
And how, because the first thing I get asked, especially about diet, right? Everybody wants to start taking supplements. And I'm like, that's the last piece of the puzzle. How important do you think it is to, kind of start to implement the mouth tape, the nose tape?
Yeah, I mean,
things?
like I don't even like to be product forward, like the mouth tape is just like usually the biggest issue with sleep, minus mindset, is probably breathing. Most people with actual sleep issues, their breathing is off in some sense. 80% of the population has deviated septum. And so those are just tools to allow you to breathe through your nose throughout the night. Like that's what we want to do. Breathing is like the steering wheel to the nervous system.
Yep.
And if you're not breathing out of your nose, you're not fully relaxing your nervous system, you're not combating that stress, you're not going to be calm. And so, okay, if the goal is breathing through our nose the entire night, those are just tools to help with that. Not everyone needs it, but they're there if you need it. And so, yeah, that's kind of like the progression. And so, one, I think that sleep studies should be the new blood work, right? Like we do this blood work all the time, but if you look at the long-term outcome of having sleep apnea, that's just as bad as cardiovascular disease. I mean, cardiovascular disease comes with it, neurodegenerative disease, dementia, Alzheimer's. So like, why is that not, every 5 years?
Well, it's a negative stress around the body.
Yeah,
for sure.
And it's chronic.
Yeah.
It's,
and
it's every single
you're doing
night.
it every day.
So if your breath isn't in line, your sleep is probably going to be affected, and it just creates this snowball effect.
Well, and if you're not sleeping, I know just from experience of my own, like when you're up at night, you start to crave carbohydrates. You want to have something, so you start to snack. I mean, it happens to everybody.
Yeah, I mean that's like it's January right now, so it's like people talk about New Year's resolutions, and I'm like, if you're not sleeping well, you're less full. You crave lower quality foods. You have less motivation. Even your insulin, your body to maintain the same blood sugar level has to produce 25% more insulin. So you're 25% more insulin resistant after one night of bad sleep. So it's like metabolically, you're all thrown off. So, if you have a New Year's resolution, it's like, if you're not getting 8 hours of sleep, it's an uphill battle. Yeah. So start there and then build everything else on it.
Just like everything else, I mean, if I had a new guy who's starting this week and he's like, I want to do 4 days a week, 5 days a week. I go, you're going to go from never working out. You're a 50-year-old guy. You're going to go from never working out to 5 days a week. It's not going to happen. Yeah. So we need to start with 2 days a week. What's your recommendation for somebody who does sleep like shit? Like, you can't ultimately, I know I've tried. It's like, there are some nights where it feels amazing and I do get 8 hours of sleep, but I'm 9 times out of 10, it's like I incrementally try to build that up. Is that a good recommendation?
Yeah, I mean, I think the best, if you're going to set a goal, if you think about that person, probably a goal-oriented guy, wake-up time is a great goal to start with, a singular goal, because if you have a consistent wake-up time, usually your bedtime falls in place. Like you might have to put your face in the fan a couple of days and it's going to suck, right? And you might be tired, but it kind of naturally sets your circadian rhythm, and then you tend to fall asleep earlier because you're really strict on that wake-up time. Like that's a good reset. The other thing is exercise is the most underrated sleep tool. There's new studies that came out, it's 2024, end of 2024. It used to be like, okay, don't work out hard close to bedtime. Everyone would kind of have this 4-hour window rule that they adopted. Well, now, when they look at exercise, they did this study that looked at, low intensity cardio, high intensity, strength work, like all this stuff. Every single exercise was net positive, regardless of the type and the timing. So move every day, whether it's a walk, a hard workout, it all affects sleep in a positive way. Like there's no negative impacts on sleep from exercise.
Yeah, I mean, one of the taglines that we use for the business is like, there's nothing wrong with being strong. Like there's no downside to exercise. It's always going to improve every aspect of your life.
And it's like, what's cool is when they look at the sleep architecture, the sleep cycles. So your REM sleep is more adaptable to your emotions. Like when you're under more anxiety, you tend to get more REM sleep because that's when your mind resets from a mental health perspective. And then when they look at exercise, your body actually adapts the type of sleep cycles you have based on what type of exercise you do. So when you need more slow wave sleep, for strength work, physical regeneration of your tissue, your body adapts. We're smart. Our bodies are smart. Just let it do its thing. But you need to tire yourself out. If you're not tired physically, you're not going to have the need to sleep.
Well, yeah. What do you say to people who they're like, well, my mind races at night. I start thinking more clearly at night. Is that a thing?
Yeah, I mean, so anxiety naturally rises through the day. That's a normal. If you think about the brain, and most people feel this way. You wake up in the morning, you feel you have clarity, you feel pretty good, refreshed. But there's things that build up in the brain throughout the day that create that anxiety too. So that's natural. Like, I don't think people should think something's wrong if you have more anxiety at night. Totally normal. But I think two things. I think there are things you can do to have an immediate impact, but two, it's also, looking in the mirror, doing some self-reflection. Like, okay, your mind is racing. About what? Mm-hmm. Like, is it about your job? Is it about your relationship? Because at the end of the day, I think the foundation is like purpose in your life. Like, what are you living for? Because a lot of times anxiety comes from not having purpose. And so people have sleep issues, but it's really stress management. And I think it's oftentimes it's a pretty impactful point in someone's life when they self-reflect, think about why they're stressed at night, why they have a racing mind, end up going to therapy or something, and it has nothing to do with their sleep. It has everything to do with the purpose in their life, what they're doing, what's their community like.
One of the things I tell people all the time is having a purpose in life is going to be like your North Star.
Yeah.
But trying to discover what that is going to be the hard part.
For sure.
And I think gravitating towards things you like. Was this something that after football you started to become more and more passionate about, or how'd the...
Yeah, the passion came from just like the response. Like, when people fix their sleep, it really makes them a better version of themselves. And it's like amazing the messages we still get of like, especially like the moms and dads, like that's pretty cool when people can show up for their family in a bigger way. And a lot of it was education. A lot of it is education. So when you can educate somebody and get this feedback, and even like, there's a guy in the Eagles that I talked to his college team, and he was like, sent me a message after they won the Super Bowl, like, you have no idea the impact you had on my career from sleep. Yeah. And so I think that's what really keeps us pushing and we try to be education forward. Like, you asked about the products, but I think our goal is like educate on sleep, how to combat, stress, breathing, and then our products hopefully are the best products when they get to that point. But, if we just keep educating people on sleep, we'll be in a good spot.
I love that approach. And what I've felt in the last year or so, I think we've done, the fitness industry has done a piss poor job of selling people aesthetics. Yeah. And when we should be selling them all the other benefits.
I feel like that's actually making like a resurgence.
What?
The aesthetic side of things. Do you feel that?
Well, yeah, I think now because it's in people's, it's kind of in the foreground of like what's going on. Yeah. Because, well, now people can get GLP-1s, your peptides, all this stuff is like helping people achieve that.
Well, even like peptides, it's like 5 years ago, no one would be posting vitals in peptide injections, and I'm like,
no way.
What?
No way.
And the younger generation too is really,
they don't give a shit.
No, dude,
they'll take everything.
Dude, they're like, I mean, the Trent twins. I'm like, are you kidding me?
And they're the most relevant guys on the planet.
I know. Yeah. And so it's kind of interesting to me how this is going. And then when I see like in Nashville, there's a couple cool gyms, but that like 20 to 25 range is like getting back into that bodybuilding, aesthetically driven world, which is kind of weird because there was a point there where it was like, more performance oriented, which I liked. I think that's a much healthier way to look at things, like what you can do as opposed to what you look like.
Well, I've been in the industry, I like to say, since I was like 13, 14 years old. I was heavy as a kid, and then I started, you were too?
Yeah. So that's why I don't like the tight shirts.
Yeah, so for me, it's like my body wants to go back to being a fat slob all the time. I mean, if I miss two or three,
it, dude.
Yeah. Oh. And I think people don't understand it. I think there is like a fat gene. I think there is something in our chemical makeup
So I have a friend that's like a dietitian, like she's super smart, and I argue this with her all the time. I'm like, I'm telling you, calorically, like my body stores fat easier. Like I would bet my life somewhere down the road there's something that's going to come out genetically that's a direct link.
Well, look how much we've learned in the last couple of years. I would always think like, because I was such a savage with it, I would just starve myself and only eat clean. I got myself down, but there are definitely people who you're now seeing. It was just it's the mental craving, it's the chemical imbalance. Like, you start taking GLP-1s, I've seen people who could never lose the weight.
And that's what's hard with it is like, I think, I say a lot of the fitness industry, and I've had some conversations with some really big names, and they're like, you just need to eat clean, sleep, all this stuff, and work out and move. And I'm like, I get where you're coming from. But one, you've been 6% body fat your whole life. You're not understanding
You don't get it.
No. And two, like, there's something to be said about giving someone some momentum. like when people feel confident enough to just step foot in the gym, like that's the part they don't understand is like they don't even have a chance to learn the behaviors if they don't get a little bit of confidence and momentum. And so there's definitely a place for it. And I think it's a shame that people are so polarized on it because it's a tool for certain people.
I'll argue with people all day long. I have a couple doctors who, you know, I send people to. I'm like, listen, if you're going to do it the right way.
Yeah.
Go get your blood work done. But at the same time, I think it's a great catalyst for a lot of people to give them that extra kick in the ass that they need to start to feel good. We've demonized testosterone and peptides and all this stuff for so long. And now it's come to that it helps people out more than I think it hurts them. Obviously, everything gets abused, right? Like even marijuana. Look how long it took us for the amount of people who I think function better on like microdosing mushrooms and all these things. It's only improving people's lives. Now, are you going to have a bunch of people abuse it? Of course, that's everything.
It's crazy just like how much you think we know and then some things change and it's like, oh, we really don't even know. Like we really never had an effective weight loss drug.
Never.
That wasn't a stimulant, which is like horrible for you.
Yeah.
It's kind of
I remember when we were younger, it was like ephedra. Everybody was popping like
Metabolife.
Yeah.
That was the stuff.
It was just you were popping all these pills.
Basically on like meth the whole day.
Yeah. It was like drinking 12 of these at once.
It worked though. People were losing weight.
I know, but I remember being in college and we were all trying to like lose weight and I'm like I'd pop like 20 fucking ephedra just to lose weight.
Your heart was just screaming.
And your heart's screaming, and that's worse for you than a GLP.
The peptides are crazy. I'm curious where that goes though, because like,
I think they're just going to keep improving.
The regulation's crazy. Like, there's a peptide called like the deep sleep inducing peptide, DSIP, and people have been using that, and they've studied it. And in the beginning, it increases your deep sleep, but long term, it's like not good. And so it's like. That being out there and just the name of it, I think people think it's good. So there needs to be a little bit of like, you know, dialing it in because everything's off label right now. Like, and so I wonder like, as the science progresses, I'm sure some are going to be useful, some aren't, but it's so early.
Well, I think just in the last couple of years, right, from the original GLP-1, what was it?
It's way back. They've been out for.
But like in the last 3 years, Ozempic was like the first
there's
GLP.
been like 4 versions since then.
Yeah, and now this retatrutide, which is like a GLP-1, it's got multiple components to it. This is not only helping you retain muscle tissue, but helping you kind of control the cravings.
It has the glucagon receptor, whatever.
So I think it's like three different components to it. But it's a more advanced copy of what's been around for 3 or 4 or 5 years now. I think as we tighten up the science, it's going to get better and better.
Yeah.
The one thing that I'm always like, all right, how are we gonna? Is it going to be aliens? Is it AI? How does this all end? Is it just like a nuclear war amongst all of us?
AI freaks me out for sure.
But the one thing I always return to, I'm like, as long as we keep ourselves in the forefront, as long as like humans are like, all right, listen guys, we should all kind of stay together.
I literally talked about this with Drake on the way over here.
Yeah.
I was like, I think it's going to bring people back
together
to just us, at our bodies, ourselves, our interactions.
I just put up a video. Somebody goes, we're about 3 years away from this, and it's that scene from Terminator 2.
Yeah, no, we see how this ends.
Yeah, because I go, it's either that. I listened to somebody's podcast.
You better get strong. You got to be John Connor, or else it's going to be bad.
When watching that movie as a kid, I was like, there's no way this is going to happen. And now in the last 5 years, I'm like,
it's eerie how similar.
Scary.
It is. What's crazy is that like who wrote that movie? Because
it was a woman.
It was
a woman. Yeah. It was a woman in 1981 or 82.
Even like, what is it? What's the name? Like Skynet.
Yeah.
And then we're coming out with like Space Force. I'm like, we've seen this.
Yeah.
This is not end well.
And then there was who was just telling me, one of my friends, a client of mine, she's like, a friend of mine works for the government and they found this like, basically this black mass.
Great.
In space. And it reformed itself into like 3 different things, and they have it
far away, or they have it?
No, they have it.
Oh, sweet, great.
At like Area 51 or some shit, and it manipulates itself and could do all this shit. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. There's no way. But you start hearing more and more of this stuff. And then when they have these Congress meetings and stuff, and they're like, did they find this piece of fucking foreign object and it wasn't from man-made, and everybody's like, yeah. And you're like, wait, hold on.
What?
This is getting more and more real. Between the AI and the alien shit, it freaks me out.
Who was I listening to the other day talking about, like, they were saying that the government has like this crazy AI that was from aliens and like this whole back engineering thing, and I'm like, dude, I can't. Let's just do some squats and deadlifts.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, going back to like training and health and wellness, people ask me all the time, because I'll go to HFA and I'll go to FIBO and I'll go to all these events where they have all this technology and all this new equipment. And a friend of mine owns Athletech News.
Oh yeah.
And we were talking, he's like, do you see any gyms buying a lot of this AI technology, where it counts your reps and you get on there and it tells you how much you weigh and how much force you put into each foot and blah, blah, blah. I go, the gyms that are getting built, you got that place in Dallas that, what the hell's it called? Absolute Recomp.
I don't know.
Have you seen these gyms?
No.
Dude, if you go out to Dallas, this
I'll
gym,
check it out.
I wanted to fly out just to go to this gym.
Yeah.
They have like 4 of them now around Dallas. They're hundreds of thousands of square feet. They have every piece of equipment, multiple versions of each one. And all these gyms that are getting built, these millions of dollar gyms. A buddy of mine just built a $10 million gym in New Jersey. There's no technology there. It's all just iron and weights and plate loaded stuff. As we go further and further down the rabbit hole of this AI, we still want to be as primal and as human as possible and just lift up heavy shit. We want to pick up iron, we want to feel wood, we want to lay on turf. I think that says a lot about who we are, and I think the younger generation is gravitating closer to each other. Like, they wanted to go and start run clubs and have these dating meetups. I think it's important. I think it says a lot about, okay, our generation adopted too much of this technology.
Yeah, we're kind of in that like range where we felt like we had to.
Yeah.
And it was really appealing because it was new. I think they're almost turned off to it, and they're turning back, which is a good thing.
It's great. I think it's amazing, and I think that's what's going to save. And I think the generation after that, this younger generation, is going to.
It's going to get weird.
Yeah. Well, they're going to have a little bit of both, and they'll be able to make the decision, because for us, it was like we got introduced to this stuff.
Yeah, you had to.
And you had to use it.
Yeah.
And now we're like, nah.
Even like, text messaging was like crazy,
Right?
It was like,
you
didn't have a choice.
And I remember boycotting it for a very long time because I just hate typing.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, I would leave voice notes or I would call somebody, and then it just, I'd say about 10, 12 years ago, it just drifted so far away from even making a phone call. Now it's weird if you call somebody.
Yeah, I don't usually answer, unfortunately, but
yeah,
I probably should.
But we've all gotten into that rhythm.
I know.
And I think it used to be rude to pick up your phone. Now everybody picks up their phone. It's like so commonplace.
Yeah, I'm definitely turned off to I don't like the technology in the gym too much. I think there's a use. I think there's a use for certain people, athletes. Obviously, there's some technology, but for the most part, it's like, I think we were, we evolved, to adapt to this stuff. Not, need a million screens.
Yeah, and your body wants to adapt to it. And I don't think, I've seen so many situations. A buddy of mine, Pat, was trying to build this technology that hooks up to the Kaiser equipment. They were basically these keys, and it would tell you your force output and everything on the Kaiser equipment. And we were using it in the gym, and I was just like, I don't give a fuck. I just want to lift.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that's
the Kaiser's about the extent of the technology that I think.
Me too. Yeah, I like the air pressure, but I don't consider that as, the technology of like a lot of this stuff that's coming out. There's
there's some wild stuff.
Yeah, there's like the eGym and Technogym and a lot of these companies that are putting a ton of AI. You like sit on it and it'll start to adjust to your body.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that's not going to really apply to anything you're doing.
No, because there was a guy actually who came in here and he built this robotics of basically you step into the rack and it'll load the weights for you and stuff. And he's like, yeah, it's just an easier way to do it. I go, yeah, but if I'm gonna back squat 250 pounds, I should be able to pick up a 25-pound plate and put it on there.
Yeah. It's kind of like when they came out with those seat belts that automatically like slid back. It's like, it seems like a good idea and easier, but
At
people
first.
just hated it.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
What do you think the next kind of wave of information is going to be? Because I think 2025 we could say is like GLPs and peptides. That was like a big thing. I think before that, it was a lot of the sleep and recovery and cold plunging and sauna became a really big deal. What do you think the next step?
I honestly think like oral hygiene is going to be a huge deal.
I agree.
Yeah, I think
that's
like,
great.
like chronic inflammation, I think there's been like correlation studies for a long time looking at cardiovascular disease, neurodegenerative disease, but I think like the mouth microbiome is going to be a huge deal just because one of the biggest sources of chronic inflammation. And I think that's what we're kind of like sorting out is like, GLP-1s even, addressing inflammation helps people with that. I think that's like the next thing that people will really start looking at differently. I think dentistry will change a lot. I think airways, like the mouth and airways in general, I think will change. You'll see. I mean, obviously, I'm a little in that world but even if I wasn't, I just think the bacteria in the microbiome of the mouth is more impactful than people recognize. It's not just your teeth. Like it affects your whole body.
No, it's true. I went down to this place called Smile House. Have you heard about this place?
Yeah.
So I went down there and they did a whole scan of my jaw, my airways and stuff. And they're like, well, this leads to this and this happened. And I go, oh shit, this is actually pretty interesting. I think this is going to be the next.
Yeah. It's even crazy, like, because we do stuff with the mouth tape and look at studies and just like how acidic your mouth gets from just being open all night. That's why the mouth tape can be useful. But when you look at like bacteria growth and the balance of the bacteria, it's the same with like your gut. Like, there should be certain balance of bacteria. So I think creating that environment will be, the next 5 years. I was talking earlier. I think an oral probiotic would crush.
Really?
I mean, I think there needs to be some evolution of the science, but I think like that balance of bacteria in your mouth to reduce inflammation, that would be a great product for someone to develop.
Well, when you think about it, right, like all the fuel that we take in, unless it's air, it's all going through our mouth. Yeah.
Like everything you do, and that's where it all starts. So, yeah, I think that'll be a focus.
How much do you pay attention to like where your food's coming from and stuff?
Like sourcing?
Yeah.
I mean, I buy like pre-made meals. I'm not crazy about it because it's just, it's kind of like microplastics where it's like I have to pick and choose my battles,
It's everywhere.
Especially with traveling and stuff. So I try to eat well, but at the same time, like, I'll go out to dinner and be normal. So I'm not too crazy. I would love eventually to have a farm and, source some stuff, but right now that's not happening.
So I've been a part of Devin's farm now for the past like year. And everybody's like, you know what? I want that too. I go, you know what no one's ever said throughout history? Farming's easy.
Yeah, no.
Like his mom.
And when I say I want a farm, I would say I want to have a farm. I don't know if I want to do the farming.
The farming work is, because we were there, I was there one day and, you have 100 animals. The one cow was giving birth that day.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, what the fuck do you do?
Devin's also crazy. He's the last guy. If you met Devin, like if you went to, he'd probably take you to some crazy place, Bond Street or something, and zero bond. And then if you were like, this guy grew up on a farm and he pulls, calves out of cows giving birth with his bare hands, you'd be like, no way. Yeah. But the dude is like all up in the farm life.
Well, the first time I went down there and he was showing me around, I go, why do you know so much about this?
That's
he's
what
like,
I met him. He's got a Range Rover and a Louis Vuitton bag, and then he's telling about his farm. I'm like, I'm so conflicted right now.
But his mom is a workhorse. She's there
awesome.
Night and day, all day long. Yeah.
It's really cool what he's done.
His sisters too.
Yeah.
I mean, they're there.
All there. It's cool what he's done. It's like, when he told me about the concept, I mean, that's been a huge trend. Even like kind of getting back to nature, like farms are now cool. But when he told me about the concept originally, I was like,
how well
there's
is this going?
Horses in the gym, and I was like, oh, I don't know about that. But I mean, look what's happened.
Do you see a lot of that in Nashville though? I feel like Nashville.
He was originally going to try to open up the second one in Nashville.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to happen now, but yeah, I mean, people are like there was a lot of people that were downtown and now moving out to build farms. I mean, farms were always a thing, but it's become a lot more popular. A lot of like celebrities and stuff are building farms.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably one of my favorite American cities. Like if I had to rank them, I would say like New York, Austin, Nashville.
Yeah. So we were between, I mean, we lived here, we almost moved back, but we were between Nashville and Austin, and like the Austin fitness scene is amazing.
Huge.
But the cool thing about Nashville is like, one, it's crazy how connected it is because everybody comes through there. A lot of people are moving. It's right in the middle of the United States for travel. And then just it just has great people.
Where'd you grow up?
South Michigan,
okay.
Midwest. And so people are so kind in Nashville and so real, where I do think Austin got a little bit of that LA, vibe. And so just like, the quality of people we've been able to meet and become friends with in Nashville, I think is super unique to Nashville.
That's one of the things I think about sometimes around here. It's true. It's like New Yorkers are very Northeast, rude, it's cold, people are angry.
Yeah.
Every time I've been in Nashville, and Austin too, people are just warmer. I think Southern people are just warmer.
And New Yorkers will make the argument of like, oh, it's fake, but it's really not fake. Like people will root for each other. They help each other out. I think, there's so many interactions here. People do have a little bit of guard up for good reason. Like people are also getting burned here all the time, where it's like, in Nashville, it's like people
literally
seriously. And so it's like, I think there's a reason for it. But yeah, I value that, and I think I didn't realize I valued that as much till I moved from here. Yeah. And I was like, it's kind of nice when people are like open and pleasant and like willing to just become friends without, creating this barrier.
How long were you in New York for?
Just 2 years, and then COVID hit, and it was like.
What did you like about New York?
I mean, I love it just feels like you have the ability to do anything you want. Meet anybody, do anything. You can get a hold of anybody. Like the resources are unlimited, and you never know what's going to happen. Yeah. There's like an excitement and like an unpredictability about it. But on the flip side, it was just like everything's hard. Going to the bodega, it's like it takes effort. Getting to the airport, so it's just a different pace of I think it's the in-betweens that are harder, and it's like a lot more relaxing in somewhere like Nashville, just the quality of life, and then space, like having, we have like a backyard with like hot tub and a couple saunas and cold plunges and all this stuff, and that's been awesome, just making friends and having people over. Like I love doing that, and so I don't think I could go back to not having the space if I came back.
Yeah, no, I definitely Nashville's on my radar if I were ever put anything there. Like, what's the gym? What's the fitness center? Because Austin's great.
So there's definitely more opportunity in Nashville because it's not, like I said, it's not quite there from a gym perspective. There's some great gyms, but
where do you go?
I go to a place called HW. It's like more of like a CrossFit-y, gritty gym. They're building a collective there.
I heard about
Nashville.
that. Yeah.
Equinox is opening there. So it's like coming.
It's going to be the first Equinox.
Yeah, and it will be sick because the building it's going in is nice. And then there's this one called Carbon, which is like
I've heard about that.
It's like influencer center. And I've been to gyms everywhere. You walk in there, and it is the best looking people, fittest I've ever.
Really?
It's like influencer center.
There's that other one. It's like called Quantum.
Quantum. So Quantum was the original, kind of like that one, and then Carbon opened, and everyone like flooded to Carbon. I mean, it's an amazing build out. Like machines, like on paper, sickest gym ever. But it's just not, like I'd rather go to somewhere a little more like this.
Yeah. No, I like the functional spaces. I like to have both.
Yeah, they have that there. It's just, there's a lot of tripods, and stuff like that.
Well, it's hard to do it in like a big box gym. Even some of the best gyms I've seen, like you can't be good at everything. Like when it comes to gym spaces, you either have to go with one or the other. Because to have a great bodybuilding gym, it's the functional side's going to suffer because you're going to have all these kids flexing and doing dumb shit. So there's a great gym in New Jersey. There's a bunch of them, but my buddy owns one. It's called Iron Culture, and they have a small functional space, but nobody uses it. It's not like the bodybuilding stuff.
It's different.
Yeah.
I mean, New York's tough too because of space. Like
it's so expensive. I mean, I pay more for this than.
Where do you work out anywhere else?
Yeah, I have like 3 gym memberships. So I do jiu-jitsu. I'll bounce around. Like 2 nights ago, I went up. There's this new place that opened up called Workshop.
Okay.
Up on like 65th in Lexington. I'm never going to join there just because it's so far out of the way. But I just wanted to go check it out. I like experiencing other stuff. It's like going to eat at a different restaurant.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like I bounce around. There's a new Powerhouse that just opened up. It's actually the first Powerhouse. Yeah. It's a lot of these newer gyms are people with money who are just dumping the same type of equipment. For me, it's like I like variety in my equipment. I don't think one company does everything right. So I like having, I like this from Rogue, I like that from Panada, I like this from
Arsenal
Kaiser.
has really come on the scene.
I love, they're a Tennessee brand.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to go, so I've been talking to them for
it's good stuff.
A year.
They have a lot of that Carbon place.
Yeah.
It's nice. And
they're a local brand for them.
And they kind of went back to the roots, I feel like. They're some of those old school, like they're new school, but they kind of old school type machines.
Yeah, the guy Andrew who owns the company, he's an awesome guy. So I met with him when I went out to the Olympia, and we worked out that day. I love it. I mean, I go to all that.
I always
shit.
wanted to go.
Dude, it's so much. Actually, if you're deciding between the Olympia and the Arnold.
So I've been to the Arnold. In college, I used to go and just get all the supplements, you know.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I like the energy. I like the people who go. I like just seeing what's new in the industry. The Arnold's cool because it's more of a sporting event.
Yeah.
They have they have everything from like a 5K run outside to guys in armor beating the shit out of each other. So it's cool. The Olympia is fun because it's like if you want to see bodybuilding at its highest level, I think that's
that's a different crowd.
Yeah. Oh, well, I tell people all the time, the bodybuilding community is the fucking weirdest of all the fitness communities.
Yeah.
People are like, CrossFit's a cult and High Rocks is a cult.
No.
I go, no, the biggest fucking cult is bodybuilders.
Yeah.
They're the weirdest people because CrossFitters, if you ask anybody from Rich Froning to, you know, the old lady who does CrossFit, you know, just for fun, everybody will say the best part about CrossFit is the community. So you're always around other people, you're communicating with other people. I love the sports and conditioning world. Like any of the guys who I've met through who train athletes and stuff like, they're always like very community driven. Bodybuilding is like, put your headphones in, you go work out on your own.
It's like ego, like
me
and it's versus you.
And you're constantly, like, the guys are always shaving their bodies and they're in fucking bikinis and shit. I think it's just a weird fucking world.
It is. It's like you can.
I love it.
You can feel it though. Like when you're there, you're like, this feels uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's like it's a weird vibe.
Well, the weirdest one I've been to, I went to the Dubai Muscle Show.
Okay.
So most of that is like Middle East, Southeast Asia, and you're getting all these guys, and it's just a weird fucking environment. They're all like lotioning each other up, and it's a weird environment.
Especially there, that's got to be a whole different.
Oh my God, it's a weird fucking world.
Why did you go to that?
So I work with the guys from Panada, and they were like, yo, you have to, they were like, if you want to see the best show, it's a massive show.
Got it.
It's like hundreds of thousands of people. Huge. Yeah, so it's the Dubai Active Show and the Dubai Muscle Show, and they combine the two. And they have all these workouts going on. They have everything that happens in Europe and the Middle East will, you know, all meet up there.
That makes sense.
So what's your next thing? I mean, I know these guys are taking you all over the world.
Yeah. I mean, we're coming out of the Weighted Blanket next month, which is cool, and we got the rights to this. It's pretty cool. So it's this material called Celliant, and it converts thermal energy to infrared energy.
Okay.
And so we got the patent rights for it, and so we put it in a weighted blanket. And so the data on weighted blankets is really good anyways.
I love it.
So what this does is essentially it, you know, your body heat reflects off it, converts it infrared, which increases blood flow to soft tissue, reduces soreness, and there's pretty good data on that. So, you know, we're calling it like a recovery blanket. So you know, it'll help with your sleep. It's like netted, so it's not hot, but then it will give you a little bit more blood flow to your soft tissue, help you feel better, recover from workouts.
Nice.
So
where'd that come about?
I mean, kind of what we've done is like, okay, like we want to have like a full sleep portfolio, and so we're like, okay, what products are, you know, grounded in science? We have data to back it up, and where's like the myths? Like, how can we make them better? And so, you know, weighted blankets was always on the list of those products, and then we started poking around like for ways we could make it unique, and that's kind of what we've tried to do with the other stuff. Like mouth tape has been around, but we've, you know, made some changes to it to make it better. Same with the nasal strips, like we patented those, redesigned them. And so, yeah, we found this material. Under Armour originally used it in some recovery gear, but I don't think they marketed it well and didn't, they put it in like compression gear, and I don't think people like were ready for it.
Yeah.
And so we got the rights to it, and it should be pretty cool.
No, I think people are adopting a lot more stuff these days than we were in the past.
And just the weighted blanket alone, like we know it's going to be effective. And so if we can make it better and make it unique.
I'll tell you what, when I first got it, it does. There's something about it that's just very calming.
It's like evolutionary. Like it's, you know, you're meant to feel protected. That's why it works so well for animals.
Yeah, I love it. So what's been harder for you, competing, you know, playing football, or some of the endurance stuff you're doing now?
Oh, the endurance stuff for sure.
Really?
Oh, dude, it all started like 4 years ago. Jesse was like, we're going to go on a little sauna boys trip in Rome, Georgia. And I'm like, all right, sick, you know, like just sauna, cold plunge, eat good food. And the first night it's like Devin, Chad Wright, Tim Snee, like all these elite endurance guys. And they're like, let's do a triathlon tomorrow morning. And I'm like 270 pounds, like not in the best shape.
Yeah.
And it like it literally changed my whole life, because it was like, we did it. I did it. Never had done anything like that. And I was so far behind, everyone came back and like helped me finish.
No shit.
Like, as a man, that's just like, I mean, you guys are being super nice, but like, I hate everybody right now. Like, get away from me. And so I kind of made a promise. I'm like, I'm never going to be this guy again. And I started running. And because I'm like, I want to spend time with these guys, and we had the most amazing time. But it's like, if this is going to be part of it, I need to at least be able to run and do some of this endurance stuff. So now I run all the time, at least good enough runner to keep up and not die.
Well, what's your training protocol looking like now?
I mean, it's kind of all over the place. Me and my wife's pregnant. She just got pregnant. We went through
Congratulations.
Yeah, and so we went through the IVF process, and that was like a journey. So hadn't been as like on it as I had liked, but now getting back into it. So I do like strength training like 4 times a week. I try to run every day but I'm doing a half marathon in February. But I need to set some strength goals. Like I want to try to I might try to do a thing where by the time my wife has the baby, set a half marathon time, and then I did 225 35 times for pro day, and see how close I could get to like doing that again by the time in 9 months,
Yeah.
But I don't think I'd get there, but it'd be fun to just see what would happen.
Just try to do it.
Because I'm 15 years older, so.
Yeah,
or I'll tear my pec. One of the two is going to happen.
I've been down that road. You don't want to do that.
Have you done it?
Yeah, I completely tore my pec. Yeah.
Oh.
And I had to repair it. I was doing ring muscle ups, and I fell through the rings,
Classic.
and I completely tore my pec and my anterior delt.
That's like one of my biggest fears.
Oh, it's the worst.
Yeah.
It's the recovery on it sucks.
Your whole chest.
Everything.
I saw a guy do it, like an offensive lineman. He was dumbbell pressing 150s, and it just
it just rolls up into your chest,
and
it's so painful, you don't feel anything.
Yeah.
Like your body's in shock.
Like,
I couldn't move my arm from this. Like I couldn't physically push it down or let it relax.
Is it just black and blue?
So my arm was all black and blue. So from here down, my arm was black. I thought I tore my bicep.
I'm rethinking my goals now.
If you don't mind me prying a little bit,
yeah.
You did the IVF.
Yeah.
Why?
So we tried for a little bit, not long, maybe 6 months, and then I'm 37, my wife's 36, so we're like, well, let's just go get all the testing done to make sure everything's good to go. Did this genetic testing. We actually were both carriers for this same gene, so our kid had a 1 in 4 chance to be nonverbal, wheelchair bound. And
Holy shit.
we did it just so they could do the genetic testing prior.
Yeah.
So they genetic test, and then they make the embryos. And so it also eliminates that gene from the future. And so it was more of a choice of the genetic side of things, which is kind of crazy.
What's that journey like? I mean, I know it's not simple.
It was long, man.
Yeah. I was going to say, it takes a while, right?
Yeah, my sperm count was a little low, so I had to go on medication, which actually made me feel not great. It tanked my estrogen, and I felt pretty shitty. But
how long were you on that for?
Too long. That was a problem.
Yeah.
It took too long, 9 months.
And that kind of fucks up your body.
Yeah,
too,
no,
right?
It was horrible. I was so tired in the mornings, and yeah, so, but it was a journey. It's a mental journey, but it wasn't it was long, but we had success on the first try. So she got pregnant on the first go. So as much as it sucked, we were grateful because just to be able to do the genetic testing, be able to go through the process, it was as painless as it could have been. It took a while, but it wasn't I have such empathy for people who try for 5 years, and then people will do multiple rounds of IVF, and it's years and years, and
tens of thousands.
What you have to put your body through, the females, from all these injections and stuff. So we had it pretty good compared to that. It was a journey for sure, but it wasn't the worst thing.
Well, why I ask is, I was dealing with some back pain a couple years back, and I had to do, I got a blood test done and then a CAT scan. They saw that I had this cyst on my pituitary gland. They were like, this is gonna severely bring down your sperm count because your body's not making it. So I started taking testosterone now, and my doctor's like, well, between me taking testosterone for the past couple of years and me not already making any sperm, it's your chance of having a kid are pretty low, if at all.
You'd be surprised, though.
Yeah.
I'm friends with this doc who has worked with huge names in bodybuilding.
Okay.
And they take massive amounts.
Tons of shit.
And gets them fully back to normal producing sperm.
Really?
They've been taking stuff for 10 years.
Well, I see. This is what I said. So when my doctor told me that, I go, but look at somebody like Arnold. He knocked up his fucking cleaning lady.
Like I think they're always going to err on the side of caution. But if you can get a doc that's dealt with that, like they can do pretty.
Is that who you went to?
I didn't, because I was like, okay, but I've talked, like I could connect you with him. But yeah, like there's some crazy stories of guys like had 0 count for 10 years and then gets him back to having 2 kids.
That's crazy. I was actually talking to that with the guy from Arsenal too, because he said he was been on testosterone for like 10, 12 years.
Yeah, and it's you know, your body responds to a lot of that medication. I think rarely is it like completely done.
Yeah. So going into 2026, what's you know, what are some other goals that you have? You know,
I mean,
for the business.
For the business, like getting into big retail is a big goal this year.
Yeah.
You know,
are you guys in any?
Like all mostly smaller stuff, but you know, a CVS, Walgreens, or Walmart, like, you know, nasal. It's crazy. People don't realize it because you don't talk about it, but so many people wear other brands of nasal strips. Breathe Right's been around; they do a great job.
Sure.
But you know, I think us being in retail, like that's a retail product. I think people go to CVS, that's where they grab it, and so that's a big goal. And so that's kind of like our focus.
I think a lot of what we're seeing nowadays is just this advancement in everyday products. You know, like whether it's fucking gummies and creatine, it's just like everything's
gummies. Dude, it's gummy central.
With everything though, it's like there's
They're gonna be GLP-1 gummies soon, probably.
Everything's getting in a gummy form. But no, like any product we have now, even like potato chips, right? Like, do you ever try those masa chips?
Oh yeah.
They're fucking incredible.
Dude,
it's a better
cinnamon ones.
Yeah, it's a better. I just bought like
they're like $20.
Yeah, there was a deal on them. They're like, if you buy 6 bags, we'll give you 4 for free. And I looked, I was like, I spent $100 on fucking potato chips.
And you smack one. You can crush a whole bag.
Crush a whole bag,
and
it's
had those
$20
at the airport.
bag.
I was like, dang.
Yeah.
Stepping the game up.
But I think that's what it is. It's like everything's getting a facelift, and I think that's what your brand is.
And that's the other thing too, is like continue to evolve. Like all the other, like the stuff that we're competing against, they have good products and it's just the same. And I think if we keep making things better, making improvements, like that'll be the goal.
Yeah.
Have a kid, that's a big goal.
Yeah.
You know?
When's the baby due?
August 20th.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So what's the
The
preparation
sleep will be
like?
challenging.
Yeah.
I've intentionally not spoken too much on sleep and kids because I want to like experience it because it's kind of like this. Even if you know all the data and the science, it's different than being able to speak on it. And everyone's situation is completely different.
I could recommend 100 books on business, on training.
Yeah.
There's the one thing I tell people, I go, no one's ever wrote a great book on raising kids. Because you could be the richest person in the world, you could be the most successful.
You could do everything perfect.
You could do everything perfect. Your kids could still be a fuck up. I feel like I know a bunch of them too.
I know. It's actually kind of scary.
That's what I was going to say. How scary is it for you?
Well, I guess it is. I mean, it'll probably set in more and more, but it's like you can do your best, but it's like, they become friends with one kid that has an influence in a bad way. Like, you know how life goes. Like, you never know like what decisions are going to impact things, and so that's scary. I think it'll become more real as we go, but I guess you just do your best and try.
Do you have any siblings?
No.
None.
Only child.
So what do you? I always say like most only children tend to be a little weird because they don't get to communicate.
Yeah, that makes sense. I did have a ton of cousins and like lived in a neighborhood, so that helped me out. But I can be weird sometimes for sure.
What do you think your parents did right?
I mean, my parents were amazing. Like they were the best. I think they were like supportive in all the right ways, like, and things that were good for me, sports, like they would, I definitely wasn't spoiled as an only child, but if there was one thing, it was like if I like wanted to be good at the sport, they would give me equipment or something. So I don't know, I just knew that I think just knowing no matter what happened, like I'd always have their support, but yet they also like, they put me in a lot of stuff and they not forced me, but they gave me the opportunity to try a lot. I think that's the thing, is like I tried so many sports, was around so many people, and I think sometimes like, you have to show the way a little bit and like guide things. And I think that's the other thing. They just, they are both teachers, and I watched them be super fulfilled with their jobs, treat people really well, be family oriented. So like they walked the walk, like they did all the right things. They were great people. And so like when you see that happening, it's hard not to, like that's all you know, especially as an only child. You don't know any different. So.
Well, I tell everybody, like when people talk about privilege, right? They're like, oh, this one's privilege. I think real privilege is having two people that actually give a shit about you. And you could be from any background, you could be from any religion, it doesn't matter. Like when you know there's two people who actually give a shit about you, you could have no money.
Yeah.
Like I didn't grow up with shit, but I knew at the end of the day, like my parents actually gave a shit.
Yeah, I think that's probably what my parents did the best when I say that. And they also, I think they valued the right stuff. Like there wasn't talk of like money was not the number one priority. It was family. It was, you know, your faith, who you were around, which growing up, it's like that was such a gift. But that's all you know when you're growing up, so you don't realize it at the time. But yeah, I mean, I think the values were the thing they did the best.
Yeah, I feel bad for people. Like some of the best people I know always come from like really good parents. And I know some people who had it rough and they were like, I saw all the things that my parents did wrong. I'm gonna do the opposite.
Yeah. But that's tough, right? Like as a kid, it's like sometimes you don't know it's wrong. Until it's too late.
Favorite exercise in the gym?
Oh, favorite exercise, like to do or like probably like just like a power clean, old school. Yeah. Just
still
football.
doing it?
Yeah, I'll still do them.
Yeah.
I used to love doing Olympic lifts, but I definitely.
Were you ever a CrossFit guy?
I did I never like competed, but I used to go, you know, in like like 2015 is when it was like really popular. I just worked out with Rich the other day, Rich Froning.
Oh, no shit.
He's in Cookville,
He's a great
Tennessee.
dude.
Oh, he's the best.
Yeah.
But he was like, I went up and did his podcast and he was like, let's, we got to film this workout series. Let's just do this workout. I'm like, sick. So we're going to be on camera. And me and next to you, like the fittest
Did you
guy
do it
ever.
at his house?
Yeah.
Yeah, the barn's sick.
Savage.
Yeah.
He's also just like salt of the earth.
Really good guy.
But a psycho.
Yeah. Yeah.
A psycho.
I was there one day, we worked out, and he must have done 5 or 6 workouts. Nobody was even keeping up with him.
No.
He stopped, he ate Chick-fil-A. He ate like 2 Chick-fil-A sandwiches and then went
Chick-fil-A,
right back.
grilled chicken, half diet, half regular lemonade every time. I'm like, what is the half diet, half regular?
Yeah.
Whatever.
And then went right back to working out. Did like 4 more workouts afterwards. I'm like, this guy's a fucking psycho.
Yeah. He's got a crazy look in his eye when he gets. It's crazy. My neighbor, like one of our best friends in Nashville, is Judah from the band Judah and the Lion.
Okay.
And they played hhigh school baseball together.
No shit.
And it's like the weirdest like connection of all time.
Yeah, because he's from down there too, right?
Cookville. Yeah, it's like an hour outside of Nashville. Yeah.
Favorite pump up song?
Favorite pump up song. Probably Finito, Chief Keef.
Okay.
Yeah. Pretty hardcore, but we're in New York too,
more
so
recent,
that makes more sense.
Yeah. Favorite place of vacation? What's the best place you've ever been?
Best place I ever.
Because you get to travel a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I went to this Shaw Wellness Retreat in Mexico.
Dude, my buddy just got back.
Bro,
he loved it.
It's insane.
Yeah.
That was a once in a lifetime thing. It's like everything's custom to you. You know, training sessions, blood work, like everything.
Food, everything, right?
Like your food is custom.
Yeah.
The pre-meal teas are custom to like whatever you're trying to do. So, and then it's like beautiful. So that was.
I heard that's sick. What is it like? It's like 15, 20 grand to go.
It's super expensive.
Yeah. And then what was my last one? I had one more. One place you haven't been that you want to go.
I want to go to Tokyo. Never been to Tokyo. I always think like New York has 12 million people, Tokyo has 22 million. So I'm just curious like how that works.
Yeah.
Everyone says it's unbelievable.
Yeah, no, Japan is always like on the top of my list.
It's just so far, I'm always like, ah.
Well, you got to take like 2 weeks off.
Yeah, that's almost like a quarter. Like Q1, I'm going to Japan.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to find the time. I'm like, when could I actually take 2 weeks off?
It's like you're gonna need like 2 days to even like get your bearings back once you get there.
But people who've been there, like one of my buddies has been there a bunch, and he was telling me, he goes, if you want the best Italian food, if you want the best Japanese food, if you want the best American food, there are restaurants there that just do everything perfect.
I
think it's just their culture.
Yeah, and everyone's like, there's like lost and found boxes on the street. They said if you like drop your wallet, they'll like return it. Like nobody, like the culture's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I was in Thailand years ago, and it's very much like that. Like no one steals.
Like New York.
Yeah. Steal your dirty underwear if you left them outside. Like I was there for about 2 months, and there was a guy, I couldn't believe it, was selling like fruit and vegetables on the side of the road. And at the end of the day, he would just go home and leave everything on the side of the road. nobody would fucking take a thing. You couldn't
I
fucking
love
leave.
that though.
Yeah.
I do miss that. I wish we had a little more of that, like take care of each other vibe.
Well, funny story, when I was in Dubai for that show, I was gonna go work out with these guys, and in my fanny pack I had my wallet, my passport, all my shit. So I'm like, if I lose this, I'm fucked.
Yeah.
And I left it by the desk, and I told one of the guys, I was like, dude, is it cool if you just keep an eye on that? He goes, if they steal your bag or $5 million, we chop their fucking hand off. I go, I wish we implemented that here.
Yeah, I know.
There'd be a lot of guys walking around with one fucking hand.
Yeah. Not many though, because I think people stop doing
Yeah,
it.
after a while, you'd be like, no, I don't want that
Yeah, there's
to happen.
something to that, like bringing the hammer down.
I think we've just come so far where it's like we just encourage bad behavior here, but I think we need to start implementing.
It's like kids, if you let them do it, they're going to continue to do it.
Yeah. Well, Todd, I appreciate you coming by, man. Thank you so much.
Good to see you.
Where could everybody find you? How could everybody support the brand?
Dream Recovery is just the brand, and then I'm on Instagram. If anyone has any sleep issues, shoot me a message.
And I'm a little upset that we didn't get to hang out at Running Man, but I'll be there this year.
Next year, we'll definitely be back.
For sure.
It's the best.
Good. Guys, as always, thank you so much. Like, share, subscribe with a friend, and as always, stay strong.